Hey YouTube, TWC Dimitri here. Looking at my beautiful plane here in the Danger Dog server. Our little squadron. We have these white planes. I'm the red tail here, so let's get into the video. What we're gonna be doing here is I'm gonna be talking through what I do as far as getting ready to taking off, and then I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna talk over the gun sight a little bit while I'm engaging targets, just to show y'all what I do, what works for me. Maybe it'll help everyone out. But let's go ahead and start this thing up. All right. So first things first, what I do every time I start up the plane, first thing is I ensure the radiator is wide open, and I have this little info window up here that tells me everything that's going on with my plane. That way I can look over, I know where my radiator is at, where my propeller pitch is at, all that stuff. That way, I'm not blowing a radiator just trying to get off the ground or running it too hot or anything. So I just dropped that first thing. I got it keyed to my joystick, and first thing I do, and go over here, just pop on the fuel switch, and we're ready to start the engine. But before I do that, I always come over here and set my gun sight. I have my convergence range set to 150 yards, and on the bottom here you have your adjusting sight right and left. That's for the wingspan of the aircraft, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But everything that I'm doing with my aircraft is the system's telling me right here what I'm doing. That way I know where everything is. So let's just go ahead and start this puppy up, let it warm up for a little while. So Spitfire doesn't take too long to warm up. It's rather easy playing the fly. I love my red tail. It's the best looking one in the squadron, I think. But hey, some others might argue. I know a couple guys got all kinds of crazy stuff on their wings and stuff, but it is what it is. So I'm just gonna go ahead and close my canopy and go ahead and taxi out to the runway here. I'll let it warm up just a little bit. So I'll probably be going over, some maneuvers, not some maneuvers, but really like, some people I've noticed, especially in my squadron, when they get someone on their six, they want to turn, they jerk the stick so hard that, they end up stalling out. And I'll just show you how much this thing can actually turn, how long it can actually turn, and you don't need that much speed to do it. So we'll get up in the air here in a bit, and I'll see you guys in a little while. So I just took off from limp, cut everything down to 80 squared. This thing will run all day on 80 squared. And if I didn't say before, this is a Spitfire 1A 100 octane. The only two aircraft I really fly are the Spitfire 1A 100 and the Hurricane 100. They're pretty. I enjoy them. I really like them. So they're the only ones I really fly. And as I took off, I noticed this group of bombers flying out through here. I'm not really sure what they are, but this will be probably a good time to talk over this here gun sight once I identify them. They're either 110s or does, which you can tell by the split tails back there, and they're probably 110s is what it looked like. So what I'm gonna do is I got this nice little chart here to tell me what the wingspan of all the aircraft are, all the German aircraft. So you look at the ME 110s, it's gonna be 53 feet. So all I'm gonna do, and I have a button keyed on my joystick to adjust my wings, my sight, is I'm gonna put it up to 52. It won't go to 53. It's all on even numbers. But how this thing works is with your convergence set, your sight distance set, and the wingspan in the aircraft that you're engaging set in there. All you have to do is get that aircraft into the area where the wingtips are touching these two dials, right? Well, dials, these 2 points right here, and then you're in absolute convergence range. All eight of your guns are going to converge on that target right there, and these guys look like they're gonna try to come play with me. I'm on Danger Dog server right now, so it's all AI. I think there's one 109 pilot in here, but I figured I'd just give a little little lesson or something, a little tutorial, just so you guys can see what I do. So looks like this guy gave up on it, so I'm gonna see, can I show that as an example of engaging targets right at optimal range using Gunsight. So in whatever convergence you want, like, that works for you is what works for you. But like right now I should be shooting, but I gotta pull a lot of lead on that. So, and you always want to continue to check your 6, because look at this guy right here. He's on my 6 right now. So, but he's not gonna be able to turn with me. I'm gonna out turn him, and he's probably gonna level out. I'm sure he's got another buddy up right there. So as he's turning out, I'm just gonna continue following this guy, because that other guy went out too far, and if I leveled out, this guy would have got right back in me. And he looks like he may hit the ground. He's stalling out. I'm just gonna try to, I'm going too fast. I'm too close right now, but I can probably pop a few in them. See, they're all over the place. I got them venting pretty good. So, I just got myself in a whole little craziness right now. So, might as well take care of this guy. They won't be flying for much longer. But that's basically the gist of using that Gunsight. Oh, there he is. You know, you want to put those wingtips right in the middle of that, and I know it's hard to do, especially when you're maneuvering. But this guy's done. I know it's hard to do when you're maneuvering. I might have shot up that guy earlier, but you know, it's all about practice. It's all about practice. The more you do it, the more used to it you'll be. You know, instead of just trying to guess, you know, what your convergence is going to be at. And convergence is really important, especially that, and of course, you know, your ammo selection and everything. That's all very important in successfully engaging and destroying targets. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to finish off the rest of these guys. I believe this is one that I shot up. We're coming face to face, so I'll probably end up behind him now. Yeah, that's what it seems like. There we go. Yeah, watch out for these 110s and bombers and stuff like that. Yeah, watch out for that rear gunner, because he will get you. My approach is to come in, especially with 110s, come in low, pop up, shoot them up real quick, and then break off. Because that gunner does not get a chance, because the gunner's on the top, so he's not able to, you know, shoot at you. But see, I'm not really in range right now. Oh, he dipped out a little bit. There we go. Zoom in a little bit. And there we go. Got him. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that guy alone. So he's got no buddies around. There he is. I think he's gonna try to break off and go back home. So that's what I'm hoping he's doing. I really don't want to use all my bullets, but I guess I'm only doing this for this little gaggle right here. So it doesn't really, I'm gonna break off. So, but that's really the gist of it. Using that Gunsight to your advantage. Use everything to your advantage, because especially when you're flying against human pilots, you know, them 110s can do all kinds of crazy stuff. Along with the 109s, you know, you're at the disadvantage with, you know, the climbing and the diving. So, you know, you want to use your plane to every advantage that you can. So I'm gonna just drop back down to 80, 80, 80 on all my settings and cruise a little bit like that. So I'm gonna get out here over the water and talk through turning. Say you got a guy coming on your 6 or something. So I'll see you right out there. Alright, so I found these two stragglers here while I was coming out here to show y'all a couple things. So I figured let's just finish them off. No need to keep 2 aircraft in the war effort, you know. That'd just be more that we'd have to face later on. So just gonna go ahead and tangle with this guy. Probably I'm kind of at the point where I don't want to be. I'm kind of level with him, but there he goes, braking, rolling around. I'm coming in a little bit fast, but he's bleeding off a lot of E doing that. So, and I'm pulling a lot of hard G's right now. There's this buddy that went past me just now. I'm not gonna mess with that guy because I don't think he'll make it home. Now I'm at a spot right now where I'd rather not be above him. I mean, there are some advantages because you get a better shot at the cockpit area. But see, I wasn't leading him enough, so I'm gonna go up. You know, it's hard sometimes to judge your lead based on, you know, how much you're pulling, what speed you're at, like what the bullets are gonna do when they drop. You know, and I was out of optimal range for that, but I still hit him up pretty good. So got one of those engine radiators busted, so I'm just gonna fall in back on him, try to get the cockpit. I know I hit it a little bit there. Both of his radiators are out, but his buddy's behind me. That's fun, and they got my radiator. How about that? So see, that's why you always have to watch your back. Always have to watch your back. So, tangling with these guys probably wasn't the best idea. So, I'm gonna go put a couple rounds in him. Probably drop my prop down a little bit. That way I can keep some of my water in there, and then just put a few bullets in him. That was a longer burst than I usually do, but let me go ahead and get out of here. They'll probably bail. His tail's on fire. So, but I could probably talk over what I was talking about with the turning right now before I have to go land this thing. I'm pretty close to England. I should be able to make it. My temperature's going down a little bit, but I still got a little bit in the tank for that. But okay, so what I've noticed, I've watched a couple guys in my squadron, a couple newbies doing this. When they get jumped by a 109, they see him coming down there, they're braking. What they end up doing is they brake and they pull it so hard that they end up stalling out like that. But they continue to pull, so they're stalling. Now, see, you don't want to do that, especially if you're low to the ground. Once you lose control, you might just go in. You know, we don't want that. Now, this thing will turn. This thing will turn like nothing else. But you have to be a little bit gentle with it. You have to pull it. So when someone's jumping me, when I notice it, I start to go into a turn, but I start pulling just very gently. Now, you see how it's just continuing to pull? You can hear the creaking. You can continue to pull and continue to pull, and if you can see right now, the plane's starting to shake, so I'm right about on a stall right now. I don't want to pull it any further, but I'm pretty much turning on a dime. Pretty much turning on a dime, trying to keep the horizon pretty much level. That way, you know, I'm not climbing when I'm turning or anything like that, losing speed. And I'm adjusting as far as with my throttle and my prop and all that good stuff. But this thing will turn all day. That was what, 5 turns? But you just got to be a little bit gentle with it. You can't jerk it, because if you jerk it, you're gonna stall. And luckily I'm able to recover from that, but you don't want to do that like 10 feet off the deck, you know what I mean? Doing that 10 feet off the deck, 100 feet off the deck, you know, you'll lose so much that it won't even be worth it. See right now? See it shaking? I'm right on that stall. So when you're trying to brake, don't pull it so hard. Do not pull it so hard, or you will. That's probably my radiator too, but don't pull it so hard because you will stall out. Just gentle, guide it in there, because that 109 is not going to be able to turn with you. But that's all for this one. My radiator just busted. I hope this helped. Hope y'all enjoyed. There'll be more coming soon, and I'll see y'all next time. I'm not gonna make it to England, am I? Nope. Well, might as well ditch in the ocean. See you later.